The chair now recognizes myself for 5 minutes of questioning. Ms. Gudasikara, you are the head of Energy 45 Fund.
Yes.
Do you receive a salary?
Yes.
So you're not doing this gratuitously, you're paid to do this job, correct? Yes, you receive a salary.
No one's paying me to come testify today specifically.
But you receive salaries, and your money comes from where? How is the fund funded?
It comes from a number of Americans, some large entities, and a lot of individual small dollar donors that believe in my message and believe in this administration's approach to regulating
So you've got contributions coming from companies that are for-profit with ties, as well as executives and individuals with ties to the fossil fuel industry and the coal industry. Is that true?
Again, my donations come from Americans that believe in my message and they believe in my
Are you disagreeing with what I said, or is it possible that you're
effectively deliver it.
receiving contributions from coal companies and executives with coal companies? Yes or no? You simply know the answer. Yes or no, do you?
Again, I get donation from Americans.
We'll take that as a yes, because obviously you don't want to answer the direct question that you do take funding directly from coal companies and coal executives. You testified that the METS rule that currently is in place is based on some action that previous administrations took that was false evidence. So is your testimony today that revoking the METS rule would have no health consequences on anybody whatsoever?
No, my testimony today is that that is not what this administration is proposing. This administration is not proposing to revoke the standard. In fact, they're proposing to uphold the standard. What they are proposing to do is to correct a dishonest accounting metric.
So that change in the METS rule that you think the Trump administration is proposing has zero impact on health implications for children and infants across America. Is that your testimony?
Absolutely, in the context of MATS, and I'm not only saying it today.
Thank you. I appreciate it, because I wanted to understand that
Federal Register notice.
Just want to make sure I understood that you are saying that the Trump administration's proposed change through the EPA will have zero effect on the health of Americans and their children and their infants.
Again,
we've clearly seen, we have seen with what has been given to this administration through the coal industry and executives, that the President of the United States does not need to look to Ukraine for corruption. He simply needs to look at his own administration, because we're seeing it firsthand. Reverend Hexton.
Hescox, that's okay.
Sorry, Hescox, I apologize. Have we ever seen an EPA honor a wish list by an executive of a coal company and try and implement that wish list as law?
Not in my knowledge, and what's even more infuriating to me is that on that wish list, and copied on it and helping to arrange the meeting with Secretary Perry, was the now current director or administrator of the EPA, Andrew Wheeler, when he was at his old law firm, which is extremely troubling to me that he's engaged in a process that he actually lobbied upon. And I find that a very troubling conflict of interest personally.
And Ms. Toney, I'm understanding this, that when we look at the rule and the rollback that the Trump administration is trying to do is based in part by eliminating the review of co-benefits. Can you explain a little bit more for us as to why co-benefits should be included?
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You need to look at the co-benefits because that has a direct implication into the particulates. The particulates is the count that we look at because that is what is harmful to human beings. It's what kills people. And when there's a removal of this from MATS, then it's a removal that undermines the entire Clean Air Act standard. So taking it out of one piece takes it out of all, and it allows and opens the door for litigation, as Reverend Hitchcock allowed.
So just put in layman's terms here, if we looked at cigarettes and only looked at one carcinogen and didn't look at nicotine and tar and made our judgment based on just one small chemical aspect of tobacco, that's kind of what we're doing here, instead of looking at the overall effects of nicotine and cigarettes on the individual.
Absolutely. If we did that, my children would still be watching cartoons with people smoking.
Exactly.
Thankfully, we don't.
Just have a few more seconds here. Ms. Huffling, I'm going to go to you. Is there anything you've heard that you would like to weigh in on before I yield my time?
One thing that I would say about the co-benefits around the financial aspects that they're looking at for mercury pollution, since 2011, we've had an increase in the research around mercury, and so the local mercury concentrations are much higher than we thought. You have many more people being contaminated close to coal-fired power plants, and so the calculations in the MATS rule right now are actually way too small.
Thank you very much. I yield back, and at this time, the chair recognizes